For me, this was a huge improvement over his previous film. So this director's previous film was also a Regal mystery movie sometime last year. Relay was the name of it, and it got started off really great, but then just kind of crashed and burned for me at the end. This film was quite a different experience, and I'm speaking of Fuze, which was this past Monday's Regal mystery movie, the 13th of April. Had a live stream discussion about it last night as the recording of this, which is tax day, April 15th. And the story, it's interestingly done. I can't say that I'm hugely in love with it, but I think because it landed for me better than the first one, it just, I give it much higher marks in my head. It's a heist story that starts off being a bomb story. Basically, in London, this construction crew uncovers what appears to be a World War II bomb. And so a detonation crew or whatever is called in to deal with the issue. In the meantime, they have to close off everything in a certain amount of a certain radius or whatever, obviously for protection. While this is going on, you see that there's a group of people that have not evacuated and they are up to something. And it quickly becomes obvious what they're up to. And from there, the story just continues unfolding. And there are detectives or police investigators, whatever, that are starting to piece together things that are going on. And so the people behind this heist are being pursued, or they're trying to catch them. And it becomes kind of a cat and mouse game. But you find out that there's much more going on than just this heist. You find out the people involved, their connections with other people, and backstabbing stuff that happens. I went into this already aware of this twisty thing that was in Relay, the previous movie. So I was already prepared for reveals that I knew were going to happen. But also, when you've watched movies long enough, as I'm sure many of you guys have, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, you start to pick up on certain things that are shown. Chibi. You start to pick up on certain things that are shown, and you realize there's a reason that this is being shown. You just don't understand it yet, but you know it's going to come into play, and it does. So when certain reveals happen, oh my gosh, Chibi, stop. She won't stop. She does this so much. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying when the reveals are made, you're not necessarily super surprised by it, or at least I wasn't, because I could tell that there's more to what's going on than what we think. And then because the camera would linger on certain people, I knew that somehow there was a connection with this person. Otherwise, why are we continually being shown this person when that storyline should have already ended? You will know exactly what I'm talking about when you watch this movie. The film is not very long. I thought it was efficiently paced. There is a whole heck of a lot that's going on in about an hour and a half. There was a lot of daylight that was happening in this movie. For everything that was occurring from the beginning when the bomb was spotted, which I really like the opening shot, this zoom in of London and then circling around and then zooming in on the area where they found the bomb. I thought that was pretty cool. That was actually one of the first things I wrote. Liked the zoom down onto the construction site. I also like the uneasy background music that was playing because you knew something just was going on. And what I was saying about the pacing and there being a lot of daylight that was happening in this film, because there was a lot of stuff going on. Finding the bomb, cordoning everything off, and Deleted said in our live stream discussion last night that he thought things were happening in real time, but I don't think so, because everything that had to be done would not have been able to happen in that brief amount of time. So I think there was definitely some editing, some time compression happening. You just know it's further on into the morning. I'm assuming it was morning when they found the bomb, but then you have the heist is happening, and then you have the pursuits are happening, and then there's traveling going on into the country, and then there's drama that happens in the country, and then there's more driving around in the country, and then there's going to the airport, and it's still broad daylight. So I don't know about that. But anyway, at the end of the film, when you get to the final scene that is being shown, you already pretty much understand everything that has happened, the connections between people, and you've started to piece together why things have happened, but the final scene shows you the foundation of this thing that was set in motion. And then the movie's over, and then there are graphics that's put up at the end showing what happened to each character. And it was kind of interesting because the tone of those graphics was suddenly a bit comedic when the entire film up to that point had not been comedic. So that felt like a bit of a mismatch. I think it was deleted mentioned. It felt like something from a Guy Ritchie movie. And that's true, but the whole rest of the movie did not feel that way at all. Kind of reminded me of the weird tone mismatch that happened in Relay. This one didn't bother me as much, and the abrupt ending didn't bother me as much because there was no more story to tell. Once they've shown you this final scene, that's it. It's done. You fully get it. I have gripes with certain things happening or not happening with particular characters, but that's just my internal moral compass that's bothered by certain things. But as a whole, I felt that this plot was well constructed and I enjoyed watching it. I don't feel like it was a waste at all of my time. I thought this was a great pick for the mystery movie. There were multiple actors in here that I really liked. Aaron Taylor-Johnson played the bomb guy. Theo James and Sam Worthington played a couple of the heist people. And then there was another lady who played like the police, I don't know, captain or whatever. She was the one that was monitoring the situation from like a command center. I cannot remember her name. I'll pop it up on the screen, but I've seen her before multiple times. I thought the cast did a pretty good job, and I liked how tightly paced this was. I didn't feel like there was a moment that was a waste of screen time or a waste of time in telling the story. Everything had a purpose, and I thought it came together pretty well. It's not going to make my list of favorites for the year, but I certainly think it's worth a watch. And if you like heist movies, this might be something that's right up your alley. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now about Fuze. I believe it's coming out this weekend. Don't know how long it'll be in theaters because you know how it's been lately. But if you check it out, let me know what you think. All right, you guys, that's it for now. Adios.